Eric Trump becomes director of the board of directors at Alt5. Eric Trump's on the board! And then Zach Witkoff, the co-founder of World Liberty Financial, the very scam that needs liquidity, is the chairman of the board. Steve Witkoff's son, who's in the Trump administration, is the chairman of the board. And Eric Trump is on the board of what, my friends? Of a company that tells you in full disclosure their crypto mining operations failed because of a storm on Halloween. They were an appliance recycling company, applied for a crypto exchange license in Lithuania, and have a failed biotech scam, and are now going to somehow magically make $1.5 billion appear despite losing money and having negative $29 million of liquidity over the next 12 months. I think we just found the greatest scam yet, and there have been no shortages of scams when it comes to crypto, but this one has Gavin Newsom salivating and following Donald Trump into it, and boy, it's nasty. First of all, listen to Gavin Newsom and what he just said is coming. This is absolutely insane.
The real prediction is, we're about to put a meme coin out. And you know what, Donald Trump, we'll see how well your coin does versus our coin.
This is insane. Gavin Newsom suggesting he's going to put out a meme coin to compete with Donald Trump's meme coin. Maybe that's because he wants to compete with World Liberty Financial, which is, as of yesterday, trading publicly because the stakeholders in World Liberty Financial, Donald Trump, one of Donald Trump's sort of tokens, have voted in July to enable trading for WLFI so people could get their money out of it. Which makes sense because what's a good rug pull if you can't get any money out of the actual token? Obviously, since it's gone public, no surprise it's gone down. But there's actually a hope to make this a diverted rug pull, and it's so scammy that even Gavin Newsom is salivating at getting into this one. But anyway, what you gotta understand is Donald Trump raised over $550 million in cash for his own family when launching WLFI. But in addition to that, over this $550 million, after original buyers purchased more than 35,000 of these tokens, after that, Donald Trump still holds underlying tokens, and so does Witkoff. Steve Witkoff is the envoy to the Middle East in the Trump administration, and Witkoff's son helped run, or is helping run, WLFI. Not that they really do anything other than, well, at this point, give people an opportunity to sell their WLFI. Trump controls 22.5 billion WLFIs. Witkoff probably another over $1 billion in actual value, which means Trump has an extra $5 billion of capital to get out of WLFI. The problem with tokens, though, is they usually end up with liquidity problems. You usually can't run you can't sell out of these because too many people try to sell at once. And so that's why now original buyers are being held at cashing out only up to 20% of their original purchases. Because you want this WLFI to have some kind of share stability before you get all of your money out and you turn it into real cash. Because what good is a rug pull if you can't get your money out? Well, to help facilitate the rugging, not only did you have Donald Trump encourage people to buy, whether it's DJT or it's the Trump meme coin by offering them dinners or access to the president for being a top holder of the currency, what you're finding, which this is obviously the fate of the Trump meme coin, which ran up to $70 at one point, now sits at $8, with a market cap of $1.6 billion, giving this token way more value than real legitimate companies in the country, but let's ignore that for a moment. Let's understand actually what's going on with this company called Alt5. Alt 5 Sigma Corporation just announced the closing of a $1.5 billion direct offering to initiate a World Liberty financial treasury strategy. Now that's really interesting. So World Liberty just started trading, and about 2.5 weeks before it just started trading, you've got Alt 5 Sigma Corporation saying, hey, we're going to get into doing a Michael Saylor style treasury to support people being able to support World Liberty Financial's liquidity. Now, before we get into what that means for World Liberty Financial, we need to understand this company. It's Alt 5 Sigma. Alt 5 Sigma has seen some crazy volatility. It's been a public company for a very long period of time. It has been as low as 22 cents in 2023, and it's recently been as high as $10, though in the past it's gone up to $30 and been higher even in the past before that. And so the question is, who is Alt 5 Sigma, and what do they do, and do they actually have $1.5 billion to support WLFI liquidity, which gives Donald Trump, Witkoff, and other holders of WLFI or friends of Trump exit liquidity in what I call a diverted rug. Okay, well, what does that mean and how does that all play out? Well, here's a company, Alt 5 Sigma, that in its last quarterly earnings report reported $6.3 million of revenues, gross profit of $2.7 million, and with that gross profit of $2.7 million, they paid themselves salaries of $4.8 million. So yes, the company lost money. The company lost money of $9 million in the last 13 weeks and lost almost $12 million in the last 6 months. Now, where is the company actually getting money from? Well, the company gets money by issuing shares. They issue shares of their stock, and then they buy other companies, like, for example, M-Swipe that they bought for about $5 million, or the $16 million of money that they issued before that. They prop up their share price with connections to Donald Trump and statements that they're going to do things in coordination with Donald Trump, and then they issue shares to fulfill the bidding of whatever financial desires they have. In this case, a WLFI liquidity facility. But the real question is here, what does this company actually do? And so let me tell you what this company actually does. The Alt 5 Sigma Corporation has a fintech segment that provides next-generation blockchain technologies to enable the world to migrate to a new global financial paradigm. That is their fintech division that loses money. But in addition to their fintech division, they also have a biotech division, which will help you solve chronic pain by bringing to market drugs with non-addictive and non-sedative pain-relieving properties. But they were not always a fintech/biotech company. Instead, they were once a recycling company. Yes, they would recycle appliances by taking advantage of energy efficiency programs, by encouraging you to replace your old appliance with a new one, and then taking government money for doing that. But they weren't always that either, because before that, they actually were a crypto mining company. But on Halloween of 2020, due to a severe storm, the mining company suffered fatal damages and mining operations ceased to exist. Which, of course, because their mining operation failed, it would just make sense to go apply for a cryptocurrency exchange license with the Central Bank of Lithuania and the Czech Republic, named Cypherlinks. Right. So here's a company that literally had, in my opinion, don't sue me, bro, but in my opinion, you got into a crypto mining scam in 2019 because you thought you could get rich with crypto mining. And then that apparently failed because a storm destroyed all your equipment on Halloween in 2020. Some people suggest maybe there was some insurance fraud going on here. Then you operated an energy upgrade scam, in my opinion, called energy recycling. Maybe it wasn't a scam. Maybe it was a legitimate service. Hey, you got an old refrigerator. You need a new one. We'll take some government money and we'll help you share in some of that government money. And then you closed that down and you stopped operating that in 23 because you were instead going to apply for an exchange license for cryptocurrencies in Lithuania and in the Czech Republic. But then you decided to launch a biotech scam, in my opinion, because you don't really make any money. I don't even know where your money's coming from, but making it like you're losing money hand over fist. So then you went into a biotech scam, and when that wasn't working out, now you're getting into a fintech scam to launch a WLFI Treasury exit liquidity scam. So now, how does this company have $1.5 billion to launch a WLFI exit liquidity opportunity, which basically takes money? What you're doing is you're taking money from Alt-5 investors. I don't know who would invest in this company, but you're taking money from here to give it to WLFI so that people like Trump, Witkoff, and Trump friends can get exit liquidity. You're basically using this public company as a way to issue shares to get out. Because do they actually have cash to buy WLFI? No. If you look at their publicly disclosed financials, they have $9 billion in cash, and they're telling you they're going to spend $1.5 billion on a treasury fund. They have debts of $38 million in current liabilities. So over the next 12 months, they have negative $29 million of cash on hand. And with negative $29 million of cash on hand, this scam is going to offer a $1.5 billion share offering by basically saying, hey, we're going to issue $1.5 billion worth of stock. So no surprise, the stock is down 29% today. Mind you, it has a market cap of $681 million. There are a few things that should give you pause here. Number one, how does a company that used to be a failed crypto mining company because of a storm that happened on Halloween in 2020, turned Canadian appliance recycling energy efficiency company, turned biotech for pain relief that makes no money, that loses money, turned fintech that's going to revolutionize the world, have a $681 million market cap? Like, the fact that it actually has a $681 million market cap is insane. The reason it does is because it got bid up by people who see, oh, this company's associated with Trump, it must be good. Let me show you the mock-up of their revolutionary financial products. This right here, my friends, is a mock-up of their revolutionary financial Alt-5 pay screen. They show you more black and laptop than they do actual product because it's a scam. Support 24/7, ability to offer multiple digital assets, complete back-end control through customizable administration dashboard. Like, how is this stuff legal? I don't know, but it is. Because it's basically a fully disclosed fraud. That's my opinion, okay? I'm just basing it on this information that we are publicly seeing here. This is what I think is going on. My opinion could be wrong. I'm showing you what I'm basing the opinion on. But in my opinion, here's how this works. Donald Trump creates a scam token called WLFI in October of 2024. He makes $550 million in initial capital raise, right? Which is basically to the Trump administration for creating the idea. So they get $500 million. Now you control $5 billion more of this token, which is worth more than all of your hotels and real estate combined. Like, why actually provide a real service in this economy? Why actually provide a real good product for people? Which, you know, the Trump hotels, you got to give them credit. They're good quality. A lot of them are really great quality hotels with high standards. When you read Trump's books, you see a man who stands for quality in buildings, in construction, in real estate, in leadership, in team members. But he's taken that and demented it into a crypto scam that is worth more than the value of what he's actually built a legacy on. Now the question, though, is you control $5 billion worth of a token, WLFI. So how do you get your money out? It's simple. You convince people to vote to let WLFI trade. You limit their ability to sell to 20%. Then, so that they don't fully dump. Then you go to a company like Alt-5, which has people that you're associated with on the actual board of the company to create a quote-unquote liquidity facility to help prop up your scam. How do we know that people associated with Trump are on the board? Holy shit! Eric Trump becomes director of the board of directors at Alt5. Eric Trump's on the board! And then Zach Witkoff, the co-founder of World Liberty Financial, the very scam that needs liquidity, is the chairman of the board. Steve Witkoff's son, who's in the Trump administration, is the chairman of the board. And Eric Trump is on the board of what, my friends? Of a company that tells you in full disclosure their crypto mining operations failed because of a storm on Halloween. They were an appliance recycling company, applied for a crypto exchange license in Lithuania, and have a failed biotech scam, and are now going to somehow magically make $1.5 billion appear despite losing money and having negative $29 million of liquidity over the next 12 months. Welcome to America. This is absolutely insane. And you know how you top it all off? This is so damn juicy that these politicians find this so frickin' salivating that now you get this bastard saying, damn, that is such a brilliant scam. I gotta do that shit too.
The real prediction is, we're about to put a meme coin out. And you know what?
You gotta be kidding me. Our politicians are moving from Nancy Pelosi scamming us behind closed doors to scamming us in our faces. That is what America has come to. America has come to politicians scamming us blatantly with full disclosure in our faces. And people are eating this shit up. You can't make it up. It's right here in SEC filings. This is insanity. So, what's going to end up happening? Well, in my opinion, you're going to see Alt5 absolutely collapse in value. No duh. It has no product. It has no income. It has a bunch of debt. It is going to dilute the crap out of every shareholder in Alt5. And the only reason the damn thing ran up is because Eric Trump joined the board. They pumped it to dump it. But they pumped it to get suckers to buy Alt5 so they could use the Alt5 market cap to squeeze it like a sponge, to make money come out of this stupid sponge. That's a scam. It's a scam of a sponge that they got people to buy. So they could use that money to basically provide liquidity for their other scam. So it's what I call a diverted rug pull. It is brilliant. You take a fully disclosed scam and you use it to buy your other scam via a treasury company. This is crazy. So, Alt5 is going in the toilet. I don't know how you can get out of this one. In my opinion, hashtag don't sue me, bro. It's going in the toilet. After Alt5 goes in the toilet, then World Liberty Financial goes in the toilet. But first, people who hold World Liberty Financial will probably actually see World Liberty Financial go up in the short term because whatever money Alt5 raises, they will use to buy World Liberty Financial so the insiders can get out. And the longer it appears that World Liberty Financial is actually going up, once Alt5 starts buying, the more people will go, oh, Trump's not a scam. World Liberty Financial's going up. It's fine. It's not a scam. As they're cashing out. So it'll look legitimate. It won't look like a rug pull. At the same time as Alt5 will continue crashing down to zero. So Alt5 will crash and burn down to zero. Until it gets to zero, it'll prop up World Liberty Financial. The insiders and the Trump friends get rich. And then by the time that Alt5 goes to zero, then World Liberty Financial starts falling. By then, all the Trump cronies already have their damn money out. It's, in my opinion, fully disclosed fraud. Which I don't know if something can be a fraud if it's fully disclosed. Because if you're like, I'm a fraud, and here's all the disclosure about how I'm a fraud, it's kind of on you if you fell for it, right? But that's basically what this is. Yeah, Eric Trump's gonna join the board of Alt5. Oh, how exciting. All we need to top this off is like some interview from Eric Trump or someone at the New York Stock Exchange or on CNBC talking about how great this is. That would be the icing on the cake here to get more people to buy this before. Is that exactly what happened? Did they get their Fox News cronies to do exactly that on the backs of the bullish IPO? No way. What do we have here?
20 times the supply. Bullish CEO Tom Farley, who's the former president of the New York Stock Exchange, said the company will serve as a bridge.
This is about bullish. So they lead a segment about how bullish stock is skyrocketing. Everything's great. What are we going to do now? Oh, what is this? What is this?
So the Trump family's crypto business, World Liberty Financial, has struck a deal with Alt5 Sigma to set up a $1.5 billion so-called crypto treasury. So the digital asset infrastructure firm Alt5 Sigma will sell 200 million shares in order to then buy 7.5% of the entire supply of World Liberty Financial's token, WLFI, which, by the way, is not yet available for public trading. But
you can't buy it yet. Don't worry. You can't buy World Liberty yet, but you can buy Alt5. Now, what's the icing on the cake to this? We just need Eric Trump to shill it.
The idea is for Alt5 Sigma's platform to transform into an ecosystem that will back both WLFI
an
five crypto treasurers to Witkoff. They rang the opening players.
Look at
Financial
this. Look
will
who's
join the
bell.
board of directors. Two of them are key players, and they are here right now. Eric Trump and Zach Witkoff. They rang the opening bell
Go
at the
buy
NASDAQ
Alt5
this morning.
See?
And they
See
are
how
both
they
here
get Fox News watching suckers to go buy Alt5. And then what are we going to get?
Set joining me now, World
There
Liberty
they are!
co-founders Eric Trump and Zach Witkoff. Great to have you
Good
both.
to be here.
Thanks for having us.
That was an exciting moment today, ringing the NASDAQ bell.
Well, it's awesome, especially when you see the markets that are up, 440 points right now.
Look how high it's all going. You could get rich. Just buy Alt5 stock.
So you want one of those days, Liz. You don't want the other day where the market's down 440 points. I
can't tell you how
I think
many
we were good
times
luck or something.
Yeah, we always hear that on IPO day
We get lucky.
from CEOs who say, thank God the market is up.
Thank
What
God.
certainly helps. But Zach, make the pitch to our investor audience of why they should buy shares in Alt5.
Do you see this? It's literally, it all goes together. You launch a scam token. You take a scam company, and then you use that scam company to get losers to buy that scam company. You put your sons on the board, and these are Americans who just want to make money, but you know you're scamming them. So you put your sons on the board and say this is going to be the best thing since sliced bread. And all it's going to do is bail out your other fund so it doesn't look like you're a rug pulling scammer. And what you got to do now is get the word out. So you need Fox News to go read your script about how everybody just weeks before you rug pull should go buy this scam.
Versus actually waiting to have the opportunity to buy the WLF coin.
It's a great question, Liz. So if you look at the pre-market of where our token is trading today, it trades somewhere between 35 cents and 90 cents. That represents a $35 billion fully diluted valuation to a
Yeah, mind you, it's now trading at like 22 cents.
$90 billion fully diluted valuation. If you take the average of where the token is trading in the pre-market, you come up with a valuation of around 56 cents.
This guy's making a bullcrap. Hey guys, if you take our pre-market average valuation, it's worth a lot. And therefore, you should buy Alt5.
As you mentioned earlier, Alt5 is acquiring a significant block of our tokens at 20 cents, which represents a 64% discount from those numbers.
You could get in on our scam if you just buy Alt 5 and give us the liquidity we need.
That I just quoted to you. That also means that based on yesterday's closing price, our net asset value is somewhere between 0.6 and 0.2, which is kind of unheard of.
So, Eric, if you could explain, though, and take that and take it a bit further. When you talk about the value for investors, again, because they can't buy a WLF coin at the moment, but they could buy shares in Alt 5.
Guys, this is exclusive. If you want access, just buy Alt 5, because this is now the second time I'm reminding you that this is exclusive, and you can't get into this unless you buy Alt 5.
So what is the extra that you say investors can get from owning a share of Alt 5
I can get
versus
more?
waiting on the WLF coin?
Well, I think
Tell
zoom out
me
for a second.
more,
I mean,
Eric.
you're really bringing crypto to the traditional marketplace, which I think so many people want. Crypto is the fastest growing industry in the world right now. There's no question. The banks are so antiquated in this country. I mean, Liz, you covered it probably better than anybody. You know why the Trump family got into crypto, right? They deplatformed us. They took away our bank accounts. You had companies like Capital One who literally in the middle of the night I was getting letters saying, congratulations.
Guys, you should buy Alt 5 because banks suck. That's relatable, right? Yeah, banks do suck. So buy Alt 5 because that's why Alt 5 is awesome.
Just 300 of your bank accounts are gone. You've had a perfect relationship with them for the...
Let's not actually talk about Alt 5. Anyway, as you can see, there is no shortage of how this was set up to rip off Americans. This is literally the Trump family orchestrating the most brilliant rug pull ever, because it won't even look like a rug pull. But it's going to be the most brilliant rug pull to get their money out of the World Liberty Financial Token, which does jack shit other than scam Americans. That's all it is. A big scam. And you know what? There's only one thing I despise more than this scam. And it's Gavin Newsom getting so excited about the scam that he wants his own.
The real prediction is, we're about to put a meme coin out. And you know what, Donald Trump, we'll see how well your coin does versus our coin.
This is so sad. Damn it, America.
Why not advertise these things that you told us here? I feel like nobody else knows about this.
We'll try a little advertising and see how it goes.
Congratulations, man. You have done so much. People love you. People look up to you.
Kevin Paffrath there, financial analyst and YouTuber. Meet Kevin. Always great to get your take.